Good morning students. Today I am going to discuss with you poem Wind, and it is a poem of class 9th. So I am going to discuss this poem and I will also discuss the poetic devices in this poem. So I have already sent the text of the poem to you on my WhatsApp group. So while watching my video, you please keep that text with you so that it will be helpful for you to understand the poem very clearly. I have also taken this text of the poem with me so that I could give you some word meanings also. So see, the poem is Wind, written by the poet is Subramanya Bharati. And Subramanya Bharati is a Tamil poet, great Tamil poet, and famous for his patriotism in the pre-independence era, means before independence. And this poem is translated in English by A.K. Ramanujan. So A.K. Ramanujan is a Kannada and English poet and well known for his translation of classical and modern poetry. So here is the text of the poem which is already sent by me to you. So while watching my video, please keep the text with you. I am going to read the lines of the poem and then I will discuss the poem with you. Okay students, the poem is Wind by Subramanya Bharati, an Indian poet. First of all, I am going to tell you that poem is a free verse. Free verse means that there is no rhyme scheme. I think you all are well aware of the rhyme scheme, and that rhyme scheme is that one line of the poem rhymes with the other. But here in this poem there is no rhyme scheme and it is a free verse. Where there is no rhyme scheme, the poem is a free verse. There is no rhyme scheme. Okay, now first of all I am going to discuss with you the poem. Yes, so the poem is Wind. Wind, come softly, don't break the shutters of the windows, don't scatter the papers, don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did, you threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books, you brought rain again. Yes students, so this poem Wind, in this poem the poet, wind is a natural phenomena and the poet has described the wind as a destructive power of nature. Means here what the wind is doing, in first stanza, in the first line, wind comes softly. Here the poet is requesting to wind, please come softly, don't destroy anything. It means he is making a request, but the wind is not listening to him, means the wind has taken a destructive form. Now the poet is also asking, don't break the shutters of the windows, don't scatter the paper, means when the wind blows very hard, what the wind does is that it breaks the shutters of the windows, it scattered the papers, it threw the books from the shelf, and then the poet is saying, look what you did, you threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books, you brought the rain again. Means the situation is created like a storm. The wind is blowing hard and there is heavy rain. And when there is heavy rain, you see there is lot of loss of life and property everywhere. And then, next stanza, see, you are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters. Crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives and crumbling hearts. Yes, now the poet is also saying that wind, what is a wind? Wind never supports the weak things. Means all the weak things is destroyed in the strong wind. If the houses are weak, they are going to destroy. If the doors are weak, crumbling means crushing or very weak. Rafters, wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives. Everything which is weak is going to be destroyed by the wind, and also crumbling hearts. So see, here the poet has used symbolism. Now these are the poetic devices or the literary devices used by the poet. Now What is a literary device? Literary device are those tools which are used by the poet to enhance his poetry, to underline his message through his poetry. Means you see that it is those tools which are used to decorate the poetic piece. Now here is, first of all, here is symbolism. Here is symbolism. Means what is a symbolism? That wind symbolizes the hardships in life of the people. Means the wind are those hardships which the people face in their lives. Means the destructive power of the wind is being compared with the hardships of human beings. So the people who are weak are not going to survive the hardships of the life. Only the strong people can survive those hardships, and those hardships make the strong people more stronger, and they exist and they survive. But the weak people or the weaker things cannot stand this crushing power of wind or the crushing power of hardships of our life. Now next stanza is, the wind god winnows the crushes them all. He won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. Let us join the doors firmly. Practice the firm the body. Make the heart steadfast. Steadfast means very strong. Okay, now here the wind god. Wind is compared to the god. Like we separate wheat from the husk, wind also separates strong from the weak. He crushes the weak and he supports the strongs. He won't do what you tell him. Means the wind is not going to listen to you. As in the first stanza also, the poet has requested the wind not to destroy the things, but the wind is not going to listen. Means the hardship of our lives, never listen to ourselves. We have to face them. They are not going to come by informing us. They come uninformed. So practice to firm the body. It means the poet is saying that you have to be strong if you want to stand the hardships of life. Make the heart steadfast means make your heart very strong. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. Yes, if we are strong, then the wind or the destructive powers or the hardships of our life will become our friends and they will make us more strong. The wind, very important line, students, please listen to these lines very carefully. The wind blows out weak fires. Means if you light a candle and then you keep it in the strong wind, the wind is going to blow it out. Means the weak fires. The wind is going to blow out the weak fires, means the hardships are going to destroy the weak people. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. Yes, whenever there is a fire in a forest, you see if the wind blows, the fire roars and it flourishes. Flourishes means it prospers, it develops. So the wind always supports the strong these fires, but it blows out the weak fires. His friendship is good. Very important line. Means if you make friends with your hardships, then you become stronger. You don't get frightened by those hardships and you get those energy that support and you face it more stronger. We praise him every day. Like we praise our God, we praise this wind every day. When we make the friends with the wind. So this is the whole text. And now I have discussed almost all the whole complete poem. And now student, I am going to discuss with you the literary devices which are used in this poem. So first of all, I have already told you that poem is a free verse, means there is no rhyme scheme in this poem. So yes, poetic devices. Poetic devices is, first of all, personification is used. Now what is personification? Personification is a literary device used by a poet when the poet gives the human attributes to the non-living thing. Means wind is a natural phenomena, but here the poet has addressed this wind as you. You see here he has said you. Wind comes softly. You brought the rain. You are very clever. You tore the pages. Means he is attributing some human qualities to the wind. And also you see that he has used he. And we use he for masculine in our English language, for males. So he won't do what you tell him. So here is personification. If we ask you that where the poet has used personification, you can write this line: he won't do what you tell him. So he is with this word we come to know that there is personification, means the wind is compared to a big man, big strong destructive man. Okay, so here it is used as he. So here is personification. And then there is anaphora. Now what is anaphora? When a word is repeated in the starting lines, then there is anaphora. You see, this word don't is repeated in 2, 3 and 4th line of the poem. Don't break the shutters. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books. So here is the poetic device anaphora used by the poet. And then you see here you. So these word don't and you is again and again used in the starting of the lines. So here is the poetic device anaphora. Then there is alliteration. Now what is an alliteration? Alliteration is a poetic device, the repetition of consonant sound. You people, I think you know what are consonants. Means there are vowels A, E, I, O, U and the rest of the alphabets are consonants. So when there is repetition of consonant sounds, then there is poetic device alliteration used. Like wind, winnows, won't, want. So the consonant this W is again and again used. So here it is alliteration. And the last is symbolism. Now what is a symbolism? Means when a non-living thing is being compared with the human life and it symbolizes some aspects of human life, then there is symbolism. Like wind here symbolizes the hardships in our life, the difficulties which we face in our life. So wind is compared to those hardships, to those difficulties in our life. So I think these poetic devices are quite clear to you. So the main poetic devices used in this poem is personification, repetition, alliteration, anaphora and symbolism. I will send you a picture of this my poetic devices. When you will write the poem or you will do the exercises of the poem, you please write the literary devices of these which are used in this poem in your copy. Okay, now the last thing is the message. So what is the message in this poem is that wind is destructive like hardships in our life. Okay, wind also destroyed the weak things and it symbolizes the hardships in our life, the difficulties which we face in our daily life. We have to be strong to face them because only strong people survive. Yes, students, it means that if we are strong enough to face the hardships of our life, only then we are able to survive. Otherwise, we are not going to survive. So, through this poem, the poet gives a message that you have to be strong because even hardships supports the strong people and it makes your life more strong and it makes you so strong to exist in this circumstances. So I think students that my today's interaction will going to be helpful to you. If you have any queries, you can contact me. Thank you.